Hello, it's Goof Studio, and now I'm going to show you a thumbnail presentation. It's not in real time, just because of the the fact that it's hard to to think about what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So right now I'm just blocking in a thumbnail. As you can see, this is a story. This is the sentence that I'm going to be working on with this thumbnail. So Duff, 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 massive bear, came thundering down the path with teeth and claws bared. So this is the page I'm working on. It's a Goof book I'm working on. So it's great to see the book work in progress. You know, it would be brilliant if you could watch artists work on the illustrations for the books that they create. You know, it'd be fantastic. So right now I'm just blocking in the background. Not too worried about anything at the moment. Just feeling my way through it. There's no worries at all. I'm just thinking about the. I was thinking of like having it tilted because it's a dramatic scene. So I was thinking, should I have it on the right, the left, the right, you know? And then I decided, and now I'm just like sprinkling it with a different brush strokes just to give it some textured ground, rather than just a plain ground. This is how I sometimes get a traditionalist look, is because then, if you do it with with a lot of texture, it removes that digital smoothness that you see in a lot of paintings from digital painting. There's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer to do traditional because that's where I began my training. I was doing acrylics and oils. Later I did watercolour. So yeah, so this right here is the character. Just got the idea of having a character in the background, dark, so that this guy in the background behind him is silhouette, so it creates like a silhouette. So right now I'm just testing the silhouette of the creature to see if it's interesting. Yeah, I think I like the kind of like ape kind of look. This is kind of like a bear, so I've done a little bit of a design of the bear, but I'm going to do it again, a new concept, and I'll then use that as reference for this. That's how I work. I like to be natural when I'm doing my work. I'll just naturally paint my picture, and then I'll use reference later to clean it up. If a character's way out, then I'll just delete it and start again with the reference that I've got. I know it's not efficient, but that's how I tend to sometimes do it. I don't do it all the time. Obviously, if there's a deadline, I'll just try and do it the first time round, but I'll plan a lot ahead first. Right, at the moment I've just darkened it all so that I can work on the lighting. You know, all that work I did on the floor has just been removed. That's fine. I'm just doing the lighting for the creature, so it's going to be coming from the right hand side, the lighting. In the book, the sun is on the right hand side, so it corresponds with the lighting on the other pages, which helps to give a sequential art the kind of like the flow that it needs. Lighting's got to be the same. Line work's got to be the same. The colours have got to be similar. Colours are not ever going to be similar because sometimes you'll have a far away shot with landscape where the colours will be kind of like tinted, like pastel. At the moment I'm just working on the lighting on the floor. With lighting on the floor, I'm not a master at painting, but what I've learnt is the further away it is, like the furthest away on the floor, it's if it's just a normal base colour, it'll be around about the mid-tone, like the mid-tone in the grayscale. and then it'll gradually get darker and darker as it comes closer to you. So I'm just kind of working on that to give a bit of distance between the viewer and the bear. I found that the composition was too high up for the bear, so I just moved him down a little bit. Here I'm just working on, you know, how is Goof going to be looking at this creature? So you're in Goof's eyeballs at the moment. You know, you're looking through Goof's eyes. That's why, you know, you've got your head down. But later on I decided not to do that, but I still keep the same slanted pose. Here I'm just enlarging the creature, so it's more dominating. You know, it's more scary. Is a tough little dude coming to help the poor Goof. Yeah, I'm working on my thumbnail layout that I've created. I've watched a few professional artists on YouTube, and I cringe when I see them struggling to keep control of their thumbnails when they're creating them. You know, like having to use selection tools all the time, and having to reselect things, and it just seems inefficient. So what I've done is I've created a document which you can find on DeviantArt on the Goof Studio profile page. You can download it. It's a big one. It's about 45 megabyte download, but it's a PSD file. It's got everything you can see here. You know, the breakdown of all the folders and such. And yeah, you know, it's a very useful file I've found. You know, you don't have to worry at all about selection tools. And in fact, because you're using masks and folders, if you need to use selection tools to create patterns in your thumbnails, you can do that without worrying about the selection tool that's blocking everything out, you know. So this is a really great document I've created. I'm glad I did it for my own workflow. So I'm just cleaning up some of the values, darkening the sky a little bit. It's just I found it was too bright. When I'm working with values, I think you know, nothing's pure white. The sky, even the far away in the sky, it's more of like a grey than a white. It's only when clouds are hit by the sun that's when you start to see like a really bright yellow, or you know, just nearly a white, you know. But in general, you just gotta tone it up to, you know, to vary from, I would say mid-tone is the bright blue in the top of the sky, and it gradually goes down to about 10%, I guess. 10% means like, so white is 0%, mid-tone is 50%, I'd say it's about 10% on the horizon line. Not this is just my own experience. So here I'm just thinking about painting Goof in, you know, to help tell the story, you know, where Goof is. I was thinking of speeding up this video, but it's only about 45 minutes anyway, and I am working quite quickly due to it being thumbnails, so I thought I might as well just go through it all in real time. So this is how fast I work in real time using thumbs. I'm normally a little bit slower when it comes to rendering full pictures because you've got a lot more things to think about. This was, you know, thumbs are quite fast and simple. I have zoomed in quite a bit sometimes, just because I tend to like my thumbs to look a little bit more finished to begin with, so that I can see what I'm actually doing rather than just doing loads of mess and then carving away at it for a while. I just like to, I usually have a picture in my head. I just want to get it down on page, and I try to get it accurately down as soon as I can. So yeah, I'm just drawing the eye in. Like I said, I'm doing a bit more detail than really should be. You know, I've done the pupil, the iris, the lighting on the eyeball, which you'll see in a minute. I've even done a reflected light, and also the iris light. Yeah, I like doing eyes like that. I enjoy the look of them. Oh, even the bounce light. Yeah, I'll do that. I always think of eyes like glass, you know. So there's a lot of refraction. There's a lot of like light coming going through the eye and bouncing back out. So I always think of it like that when I'm drawing eyes. I don't know if it looks realistic. It's just how I paint it. I've had a few comments that they look quite nice. So I've not. I'll probably work on them a bit more to improve them. That kind of style, that kind of technique. But I like it so far. At the moment I'm just doing the lighting for the goof. At the moment I'm kind of lighting it similar to the background light, so later on you'll see that I'll fix that. So you know, remember this, you need to have like contrast, you know, for your focal points. So you'll look at you'll look at goof first, because you know you just can't miss that eye, it's so bright, you know. And then you'll you see goof's head, it's shaped like an arrow, so it's kind of like pointing towards the monster. So what your eye does then is go towards the beast, because the beast is so contrasted compared to the background. So you'll jump straight to the beast, you'll be like, oh my god, look at that, look at that coming along, oh, scary. Right, here I think I just skip the step in doing perspective. I think it's this one where I have to rework it a bit, or is it the other? I think it's the other thumbnail where I have to rework it a little bit, just because I didn't do the perspective beforehand, which is a mistake I made. I do know perspective, but for some reason I tend to skip it during the process, just because I think, you know, because I'm more of a natural painter, I just naturally avoid it, because it's more like a mathematical kind of process. Kind of. You know, it's only lines, but I guess I'm just a bit lazy, and I just need to get more perspective done. I've done a video on Hearthstone as well. Those who are interested in Hearthstone, you can watch that. It's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more banter in my videos, and this is more realistic and for teaching purposes, so I'm not being as bantery as that one. I'm trying not to be anyway. But yeah, so here I'm just painting a tree. Yeah, don't worry about going over lines that you've already painted at this stage. You know, it's so easy just to fix it. So just throw yourself at it. You know, just paint what you see in your head, or what you kind of, I don't know, imagine on the page. Just done a little bit of shadow for tree. Nothing, nothing overdone. I'm just like sprinkling a shadow just to explain where the lighting's coming from, and to get a little bit more realism, so it's easier on the eye. Yeah, if there's any problems with the audio on these videos, or the picture, or any problems whatsoever, just comment some feedback on the video, because then I can try and resolve it for next time. I'm new at making videos, but I am, you know, I'm quite computer literate. I can learn software really quickly. So if you think there's any problems with it, because I won't be watching this back again. I hate listening to my voice. So if you see any problems with it, just mention, and then I'll fix it. I'll probably watch the video if there's any problems with it. If you hate the video, that's great, fantastic, but hopefully it's a reasonable hate. You know, maybe I'm not very instructing, or I've got some things wrong. If it's a constructive criticism, please put it in the feedback in the comment section. But if you really like this video, you know, do the same. You know, put that you like it in the comments. It'd be really nice, and like the video so that it gets a little bit gets more views. That'd be good. It'll inspire me to create more videos. So right now I'm just cleaning up the silhouette, cleaning up the beast. You know, I've done a fence. You know, you can start to see what the picture's going to be about. You know, it's Goof stuck in the ground with his tooth, and the beast is coming along. It's going to be a bear. It doesn't look like a bear right now. I've just done like a strong, muscular kind of big beast. It's just a placeholder. You know, it's just to get an idea of what I'm gonna do. You know, compositionally wise and lighting, things like that. You know, just throwing something in, not worrying about the anatomy or anything like that. Just throw it in. If you start struggling with that straight away, you're just gonna slow yourself down. And you know, if you're gonna become professional at this, and you need to complete something on deadline, you need to be quick. And at this stage, you need to be very, very quick, because it's just the idea stage. Some YouTubers I'd love you to watch. I'd like you to still watch mine, but these are really inspiring folk. Level Up, fantastic. It's brilliant. A little bit hard to understand to begin with, but I think you know, because the guys are from Poland, they're good at English. You know, don't get me wrong, but the accent can be sometimes strong. But I have noticed that after the first video and you watch the second video, your mind starts to get used to how they pronounce words, and it's perfectly fine after that. Don't worry about it. I'd definitely recommend you to stick to it, because those guys are fantastic, and really, really recommended. You know, lots of free resources they've got on the website, and they've got a big community on Facebook. What's the name? I forgot the names. Daniel, one of them, I think. Let me have a look on the other screen. Yeah, I'm just fixing some of the problems I've got. But while that's going, I'm just going to look on the second screen at who these two guys are. I can't show you in the video because it's already been recorded. You'll probably be able to do it somehow, but I'm not gonna, you know, struggle over finding out. Yeah, here I figured out that the perspective of the fence was just completely wrong. This is a lesson for you guys. Don't skip your fundamentals, even if you're just doing a simple thumbnail. I know that I said earlier that you can just throw things on canvas, but if you're doing a piece that requires perspective, so it's 3D, it's probably good to have like an horizon line and vanishing points and some lines. I don't draw them out because I can, especially in the thumbnails. You know, I do draw them out when I'm doing a detailed picture, but with the thumbnails I just wing it. I just eyeball it. You know, I'd kind of like hover over it with my mouse like that. Can you see? And then I think I'll put a dot there just so that I can go back to it. This is embarrassing, this bit, because I just kept going over it and over it all the time, trying to fix the thing. So it just slowed down your process down quite a lot. So I would recommend to at least put like a horizon line and some vanishing points of what you're gonna be drawing. Otherwise, it is gonna slow you down. Right, let me just take a look at the names of these guys. I do believe I've turned the video off, so hopefully it's not gonna. Okay, fine. Alright, let me just take a look. Oh my gosh. It's another thing about Polish names, you know, it's really hard to pronounce. Well. Wojtek Fus and Darek. Darek's easy to. In Polish it's Darek. Darek Zabrocki. Zabrocki. Yeah, Zabrocki. Darek Zabrocki. Anyway, Level Up, I recommend it. Sorry, Wojtek. Did I just say it right? Wojtek? Anyway, Wojtek Fus and Darek Zabrocki. Fantastic artists. lots of instruction. Here I'm just, as you can see, I've used layers, so it's easier to manipulate certain objects that you're painting. Like with that, for instance, I just selected it and then just rotated it because I found that the perspective was slightly off. Now it's a lot better. This will help me with the second fence that I'm going to draw, so it's good to get the first one down perfect first, so that it's like a guide. Yeah, so the URL for the level up is www.youtube.com/levelupsessions. If you go to that, it's a great show. I'm sure most artists have already seen it because it's 4,100 views on the latest video. It's very popular at the moment. Scott Robertson is another one. Scott Robertson. He does a lot of perspective and rendering videos. And Bobby Tew is more towards inspiring people to do art. He does a lot of talking in his videos to inspire you to do it. Very good. Any more? I've watched loads, but it's just thinking about going back to them. Ones I've just started watching are let's see, Chris Oatley. He used to work for Disney. Now he's just got his own academy running. He was quite an interesting chap. I've only just started watching him. There's Noah Bradley. He's got some really fantastic work. He's done a lot of free tutorials, a lot on YouTube and on his website. I think it's noahbradley.com. Let me have a look. noahbradley.com, yeah. So they're useful guys as well. These are the professional guys. These are top notch. For me, for yourself to watch my videos would be to, because I'm still early stages in professional, being professional. There's still room for improvement, so you'll see me improve over my videos. You'll see me gradually improve. So hopefully it'll inspire yourself to just continue, just fight on. I quit my job in February. It was just a crappy, just to pay the bill job. I quit it, and now I'm working full time on my paintings to get better. And I'm just not gonna quit until, I get like a dream job. I really like Blizzard's artwork. I know my work doesn't really suit that kind of stuff, but but my work is quite colourful, so I think I could transition to Blizzard's art style, like the orcs and the dwarves. I really like Blizzard's artwork style. It's beautiful work. And Wizards of the Coast, I really like fantasy novels, so I really like to work for them. So I think this is not really dragons and stuff. This is like my own personal story that I'm going to publish on Amazon and such, and I'll probably link these videos to the store just so they can see how I've created these pieces. But I'm going to start working more towards like dragons and warriors, and especially like story kind of work. With storytelling involved. This is my second thumbnail. I'm struggling right now because the first one I really liked. I was thinking, should I just stop it here and just use this? I generally do that. Sometimes I'll just have an idea in my head, and for some reason I've fixated on it. Even if I do loads of thumbnails, I'll still love that first one. So yeah, sometimes it's the worst one. You always say the first one's the worst one, but in this case, I think that was a really good first attempt. I still like it. I think it's really good. Yeah, it's pretty good. This second one, yeah, I wasn't really that impressed with, but I'll probably explain why. Right here, I struggled with the legs. How it was running. I think when it comes to illustrating the page or drawing it, I'm going to work on the posture some more, do some this is a tip, you know, do quick sketches of your characters and how they're going to run on the piece on a separate page before you commit to your sketch or to your painting, because then you've worked it out, you know, you've planned it all out beforehand. Um, Definitely work on it before you actually get into the illustration bit, so that you know then you get like a piece of work that's been planned out. You know, people can see that in the work. So this one is just like just working on the kind of like where I'm going to put the arms, you know. I think I just decided I'm just like running like a zombie kind of thing with arms spread out. You know, kind of funny. Don't worry about anatomy at this time. You know, you're just trying to just get a general idea of where things are. So this page is page 4. Previous 3 pages I've not recorded. Probably record the colouring of the previous 3, you know, colouring them because I haven't coloured them in. I'm just sketching them all out to begin with. So this one, this page will move into like I'm gonna do it on pen. I'm gonna do it with pencil and pen. So you won't see that step, unfortunately. I'm gonna draw it out in pencil and pen on, what is it, like a marker paper. Because I found that process to be quite fun and more my style. Yeah. So here I've done Goof. I realised later that it's too friggin' massive. It's too big. I'm just darkening it, see what it looks like, just to get some values in place. But yeah, this is page 4. When I render it, it's going to be similar colours to page 1 that I've painted, just so you kind of get that sequential flow going. Tips on sequential art. When I first started doing illustrations, you know, years ago, I struggled to draw the same thing twice. So the advice for that, which I've learned, is just get to know the character. You know, get to know the environment, get to know the characters within the story. Just draw them loads of times just to get used to what they look like, so that when you come to draw it, it comes quite natural because you know that character. You know, you've drawn it loads of times, so you understand it. So that, you know, so each page looks very similar, because it's, you know, sequential art. It has to look similar in some way. I suppose it's the same with comics. You know, you got to draw the same characters all the time. So just get to know your character first before you start doing your pages. Like this character, I designed this character like 4 years ago. I only just started doing the pages about February because, I don't know, I just thought it was a good story, so I'm just working on it. So yeah, I'm just bringing back some of the values on the bottom so that the character jumps out of the piece. To make something jump out of your piece, just contrast, you know. Just a lighter background, darker character, a darker background, a lighter character. Yeah, this is quite a slow process, this bit. I think sometimes I really like using small brushes, just to kind of get that painterly look. Because if you notice, top right kind of background, big massive brush strokes, looks quite digital, whereas the bottom left looks kind of traditional, you know, as if it's been painted in by hand. And I kind of like that. But then I got really impatient and just brought the brush up a little bit, you know, the size of it. They also like draw with big brushes, but to be honest with you, are you gonna make things look like this should look with a massive brush? So I think obviously you need to have big brushes in comparison to the figures, but like this is a big brush compared to the figure. It's nearly as big as the bear's head, but in general it's still a small brush, you know. It's not a massive brush, it's tiny. And that's just to block in things. So you can make a small brush just to put a few details in the anatomy and the lighting and stuff. I was just using a round brush for this. Couldn't really be bothered with any of the texture brushes. Don't worry about the brushes, to be honest. Think about the picture that you're painting. Fundamentals. You know, the brushes are normally for like customizing your painting after, you know, for like textures and stuff, to enhance your piece. Or it's for speeding up your process, you know, like if you want to paint clouds, you know, you'll have like a brush that kind of replicates the puffing, you know, the puffiness of clouds, so that when you paint clouds it's quicker to paint them. I sometimes also like using textures from photographs, you know, place them in, turn them into overlay, black and white, and then work on top of it. But in this one, because I knew what I was doing, I've just gone straight into painting them. But with this, to be honest, I was kind of struggling, because I was so fixed on the first thumbnail that I just felt like this process was a waste of time. So yeah, I thought Goof were too small. Sorry, too big. So making him small. I think later on I move him lower down as well, because I realise he's too high up. Yeah, even now I hate the look of that bear. But I think the composition kind of works, you know. But the one thing I don't like about this composition when it's finished, it looks like a horse racetrack. You know, it looks like a racetrack. It does. It looks like a racetrack. It looks like the horse is chasing the rabbit. Oh no, it's like the dog is chasing the rabbit. Yeah, don't worry about the posture, kind of like how Goof is kind of laying down at the moment. Don't worry about that, because it'll just take more time. Here I'm just thinking of the perspective for the fence, so I've already learnt the mistake from the first thumbnail. I'm like, screw that, man, I'm gonna get it right this time. You know, because it just took too long. Here I've just figured out that Goof is in the way, so that's what I'm looking at, and I'm just drawing in the fence. Here I figured that I've just done the lines too long. You see that there? I was just hovering over. If you hover over like that, you can picture where your vanishing point is. You can generally get a sense of perspective going. There we go. Realise Goof is yeah. Previously I did the create a new layer and did it, and it kind of created more work than I wanted. So here I just selected it on the same layer, dragged it down, and then I just painted it back in to clean it up. So it's generally smaller, but to be quite honest with you, now I'm looking at it, I really want Goof to be even smaller. I want that bear to be massive. I want him to be freaking huge. I want him to be huge, man. So yeah, I'm just cleaning it up, blah blah blah. Have things overlap as well. You can see how Goof's arm is sticking out of the bottom of that fence. If you have things overlaid, like one on top of the other, it creates a sense of space. Like the bear is in front of the fence, Goof is behind the other fence, blah blah blah. Looking at this, watching it, I think I've got the lines wrong in the perspective. How do I fix it? I can't remember. No, I did that, then I realised it just looked ugly, so I brought it back. Yeah. You know, there's some experimentation going on. Yeah, the lines are well off. That needs to be fixed. If I don't fix it here, I'll probably... I think I'll just leave it because I don't want this thumbnail anyway. I think at this point I knew I didn't like it, so I was just not really that bothered. Yeah, I think I just gave up on it. Yeah. I think at that point, that's when I saw that it looked like a horse race track. I was like, oh my god, I don't like that. You know, I didn't do any trees or any flowers or anything like that in the background. I just went, oh, sod it, I'm just going to try a new one. So here I was just like, I kind of had a blank mind for a little bit, just to think about what to paint. Yeah, it's, yeah, with this one I've just, I thought I might as well just have the bear instead. You know, instead of having Goof in the picture, just have the bear. Because that text that I read, you like duff duff duff, I don't know, it's more like the bear comes towards Goof or something. It's all about the bear, you know, it's about the bear coming along. Here I'm just putting in the sky. Yeah, it's just putting in the sky. Make sure your sky's quite light if it's daytime. You know, the sun is quite a strong light source, you know. So make sure your sky's quite light. You know, you got to think of the time of day. You know, if it's evening, do it more towards mid-tone, towards darker tones, darker values. Use tones. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Tone is a shadow. No, shade is a shadow. Tone is the screw it. Anyway, yeah, I'm just doing the floor. It looks like a mountainous countryside in North Yorkshire. Yeah. See, I've done it with a small brush instead of just doing a big massive whack of big brush. I just like the look of like overlaying a small brush, you know. It creates nice textures. You can always smooth it out later if it has to be a smooth surface like, I don't know, ice. But ice in itself, you know, it's got a lot of textures in ice. You just don't do a smooth surface. Unless that's what you're looking for, I guess. Yeah, I've just darkened the sky up a little bit. At the top. So think about, you know, a grey blue, like a mid-tone blue. Sorry, a mid-tone, like 50%. If you put a colour on top of that, it's going to look like a bright blue. It's going to be like normal blue, you know. So you got to have it close to mid-tone so that you can get a bit of colour, you know, like proper colour in it. And then the lighter it goes, the paler the blue is. Oh my god, it looks like a scarecrow. Look at arms. Oh my god. Yeah, I think at this point I was just like, oh, I just want to get on with it. You know, I just want to get... I like that first one, I just want to get on with drawing. So yeah, just bear with it. Just it's more like a profile picture of the bear. I don't really like it that much because it's got no storyline to it or action. I'm thinking, you know, if you're gonna do a book, a narrative, something that's narrative, every picture that you do has to have some kind of story to it. you know. And to me, this one didn't really have a story to it. It just showed the bear, and that was it. It was just a portrait. But I suppose portraits in themselves have a story. You know, I was a portrait artist for a few years, a while back, doing commissions. So I understand about portraits. That they can have a good story to them through expression. But I think if you're going to do it for like a children's book or just like an illustration, it needs more elements to it. Here's the race track again. This time the bear's racing is like a rally driver. He's just timing his own speed. Not racing against anybody else, just running against time. How long is left on this video? Oh my god. Let's have a look. Oh, there's not that long left, about 5 minutes, 4 minutes. No, I was wrong. About 6 minutes. I don't think there's much else. I just think I'm clearing this up now. Anything I can talk about? Yeah, as you can see, I made sure this time that I got the perspective right, because, you know, if you're doing anything like fences and stuff like that, or buildings, perspective is kind of essential because it's easier to see the mistake. You know, you can sometimes wing it if it's like a tree or something, because it's not really a it's not really a straight edge. Anything that's straight, you know, it has to have some kind of perspective, you know, groundwork, because the viewer can see straight away if it's wrong. And also, like, sometimes with your poses, you know, you need like your legs splayed out in the right areas. So yeah, I'm just doing the shading for the lighting. Ooh, how do I, you know, doing shading for lighting is more like practice more than anything. You know, you live in a world, you know, you've got eyes, you can see how lighting affects things. Just look at it. I think what the key is how to translate that into a painting or a drawing. You know, how to make it look realistic on a drawing. And it just comes down to practice. You know, there's a lot of books and artists that explain about core shadows, bounce light, and all that lot. You know, cast shadows. I've read all that. You know, I've read so much material. I've watched so many documentaries. I've had I was trained by Bobby Chew in Canada. I'm on the Massive Black workshop on the Level Up workshop on Massive Black website, Concept Art. So I've got a lot of I've got quite a bit of training. But to be honest with you, lighting is more to do with practice. Like, perspective is more to do with remembering where to place lines, and then, you know, it requires practice as well, to be honest. But I think lighting mainly it does require practice. So if anybody's struggling with rendering lighting, just work on your pictures, you know. But definitely just stuff like life drawing and studying still lifes. I find that exceptionally boring. Sorry, I really do find still lifes boring. But I have done quite a few of them, and I've kind of like done the rendering the box and rendering the circle, the ball and stuff like that as well. So any kind of practice is good practice. Always work from life first to get an idea of how light works. Do a lot of reading about how different materials work for refraction, you know, like lighting passing through materials to give you a certain glow. How to do specular light on certain things. Like with the bear's fur right now, you know, it's quite the lighting is first clumpy in it, so it's not each light rays hitting each separate first strand. You know, it's just hitting each one. So what that does, it creates quite a fluffy kind of lighting effect, rather than the specular kind of shiny surface of a metal, like a car. You know, a car's surface, if it's just a metallic car, it's just going to have a shiny surface, or like a tin can. It's going to have a shiny specular surface, like like fur, it's kind of fluffy, so you can get away with no kind of specular lighting. What am I doing here? Where's my... Oh right, yeah, I think I'm just drawing in the I think I just drew in the fingers, didn't I? What is he doing? Oh, okay. He's doing the bushes on the tree, the leaves. It's drawing leaves, yay, leaves. Yeah, I did this. Yeah. I suppose it is useful to see to the end of the video, because I do start working on the composition a little bit more. And to be honest with you, composition is a big subject. On the Massive Black workshops, there's it gives you like an hour-long video just to explain the key features of composition. But then what happened was I had to do like 30 or 40 master studies. Yeah, 30 or 40 master studies in black and white and colour, both in a traditional paint and also in digital, and that learnt me so much. So what I would suggest you do is, you know, to work on the on masters like Rembrandt and Michelangelo, Sargent, Zorn, or even like Frank Frazetta. You know, people who are more recent that you like. I really like some of Frank Frazetta's work when I started to paint him. Also, like, if you're more like a pen artist or something, just start working on like Arthur Rackham. You know, apparently he's really well known for his pen work. So we just have a few more a minute left. So we're gonna end this live stream. Well, live stream. I keep calling it live stream because I'm thinking about using that. But I'll be doing live streams later. I just need to work on my broadband connection and to figure out how to do it. But at the moment, thank you for watching. I hope you've learnt something. There's only thumbnails at the moment, because that's what I needed to do. So I'll probably just record what I need to create, basically. I might even record some of my practice studies, you know, some like master studies, show you how I do that. I might even speed up the video, because it might be 2 or 3 hours long, so I might have to speed it up. So thank you for watching. Bye.